and gentlemen, welcome to Parallel Session 2 of the 7th International Language and Language Teaching Conference in this Zoom meeting. My name is Jessica as moderator. I am a 5th semester student of English Language Education Study Program. I will be in charge of this parallel session. Before we start, let me read the rules. 1. Each presentation will last for 15 minutes. 2. 3 presentations will be delivered in a row. 3. We will have Q&A session after all the presentations have finished. 4. Other rules can be found in the program book. Okay, that's all about the rules. Now we will start today's parallel session 2. There are 3 presentations that will be delivered by Ms. Bernadetta Wahyu Widyaningrum, Ms. Yasinta Farasani, and Ms. Retno Mulyani. Alright, without further ado, let's start with the first presentation entitled Developing Android-Based E-Module to Teach Narrative Text for the 8th grade of junior high school. It will be delivered by Ms. Bernadetta Wahyu Widyaningrum from Sanata Dharma University. Ms. Bernadetta, you have 15 minutes to do the presentation. Time is yours.
Thank you very much for the opportunity. Again, good morning, everyone. It's a pleasure for me to be here. And okay, without further ado, I will start my presentation. And I guess there was a typo there that you mentioned for the 8th grade, actually for the 9th grade, but it doesn't matter.
Okay, I apologize, Miss.
It's fine. All right. So I'm glad to present my research entitled Developing Android-Based E-Module to Teach Narrative Text for the 9th grade of junior high school. I have divided my presentation into some parts: the background, research question, method, finding and discussion, conclusion, and references. So let me start with the background first. The use of information and communication technologies in English education plays a crucial role in providing new and innovative forms of support for teachers, students, and the program more broadly. Regarding the spread of the coronavirus disease, the application of technology to teaching and learning is not only important, but become the standard of education that is expected today. To help mitigate the loss of learning, many junior high schools are pursuing options to utilize remote learning in order to manage and cope with the current education crisis. However, remote learning has starkly highlighted the inequalities in digital access and led to the lack of success in delivering education to all students. E-module is one good and acceptable option for remote learning. It is a good solution of delivering learning and material and also instruction in an effort to extend the reach of contents to a wider audiences. E-module is easily accessible through multiple internet-based devices, one of which is Android-based mobile device, which has become the most widely used in the world. Due to my experience and expertise, me and my partner decided to make a unit lesson to teach narrative text in the form of e-module. Why narrative text? It is a complex material since it involves various language forms. Students require a complex critical thinking and another skill at one time in order to learn narrative text. Therefore, teacher needs to provide interactive and engaging activities using technology. Based on this phenomenon, we conducted a study which aimed to answer the following 2 research questions. The first one is how the Android-based e-module to teach narrative text for the ninth grade of junior high school is developed. And the second one is what the Android-based e-module to teach narrative text for the ninth grade of junior high school looks like. I'm going to move to the methodology. In order to answer those research questions, we utilize small scale of research and development model by Board and Gauss, 1985. Due to the time and resources limitation, we use only 5 out of 10 stages. Stage number 1 is research and information collecting. In this stage, we gather the information and data by conducting interview to 2 junior high school English teachers and observation of the online Zoom meeting. It was conducted around May 2020 remotely. This stage aimed to review some related literature of the existing curriculum and materials to find out the target needs in terms of students' prior knowledge, necessities, lack, and wants, and to gather additional information such as students' attitude during online learning, the delivery of instruction and materials, as well as the teaching methods. The stage number 2, planning. In this stage, we translated the data and information that has been gathered from the first stage into specific performance objectives. The aim of this stage are to develop the instructional materials, assessment, the template of the unit material, and the blueprint of proposed e-module. Next, stage number 3, developing preliminary form of product. In this stage, we encoded the blueprint of the proposed e-module into the Android-based e-module using Ionic and AngularJS framework, if you are familiar with that, and some programming languages such as JavaScript, CSS, HTML. The result of this stage is the beta version of eModule of the application, which is made available for testing. Stage number 4 is preliminary field testing. In this stage, we conducted material validation in order to evaluate the application in terms of its feasibility, accuracy, cultural acceptability, and curriculum appropriateness. We distributed questionnaires to 2 English education experts and 2 Android developers. The result of the questionnaires would give feedbacks, comments, suggestions as the basis to revise and improve the quality of the application. And the last but not least, the stage number 5, main product revision. We revise the design material based on the feedbacks, comments, and suggestions that were gained in the material validation. We then upgraded the application in order to generate more acceptable and accurate application, which is ready to be implemented. Now I have come to the part, this finding and discussion. Finally, the study resulted in an e-module which is easily accessible through Android device. The content of e-module is a unit of learning material to teach narrative text. We will discuss the detailed description of the e-module into 2 parts, the components and the content. This application has many components and subcomponents, which allows the user to comfortably browse the content even when offline. The application consists of 3 main screens. The first one is the splash screen. We call it the splash. It is usually a hidden screen which appears while the application program is launching. Secondly is the homepage screen. It contains the basic information of the e-module, such as the title, the target user, the author, and the reference. Thirdly is the side menu categories. This screen provides the list of some main menus to lead the user for exploring the content of this module. Those menus are Home, Introduction, Core Competence, Learning Material, Glossary, References, Biography, Music, Classes, etc. The layout of the screen has been designed colorful, involving pictures and icons in order to catch the user interest. The icons and buttons were designed simple but not monotone to ease their function delivery for the users. Now that we have the idea of what the components are, let's move to the content of eModule. This eModule was designed based on the 2013 curriculum for the ninth grade of junior high school. Curriculum 2013 focused on expanding students' knowledge and values. It covers four core competence: religious values, social attitude, knowledge, and skill. The model of learning that is used for this unit is by following the steps of scientific approach. Those are observing and questioning, collecting information, reflecting, associating, and communicating. Alright, that learning model becomes the core content of this e-module. The core content of this e-module is included in the menu category, learning material. There are 6 core contents separated in different group blocks, namely did you know, observing and questioning, collecting information, reflecting, associating, and communicating. Each content has the same template. It consists of the objectives and the activity itself. The number of activities in each subcategories are varied. The activity contains clear instruction and various types of assessments, such as multiple choice, short essay, matching true and false, or just simply an instruction to read a text or watch a video. The activity covers all 4 language skills: speaking, reading, writing, and listening. What you're seeing on the screen right now are some activities in the observing and questioning part. I guess due to limited time, I won't be able to show all learning materials until communicating part at this moment. However, if you are interested in this e-module, I will be very glad to discuss it further with you after this conference. Now let's move to the last part of my presentation, the conclusion. The conclusion of this study derived from 2 research questions that have been stated clearly at the beginning of this presentation. There are 4 main conclusions. The first conclusion presents the process of designing to answer the first research question. It was answered using the 5 stages of R&D model, and as a result, we generated the final version of the application, which is ready to release for implementation. The content of eModule is a unit of learning material to teach narrative text for ninth grade junior high school students. The second conclusion refers to the appearance of the Android-based eModule. This application has many components and subcomponents which allows the user to comfortably browse the content even when offline. And the content, as I said before, the learning material has been designed based on the 2013 curriculum. These are our references we use as the basis of our research, which will finally bring us to the end of our presentation this afternoon. I hope it was clear. Thank you very much for your attention.
Okay, what a wonderful presentation delivered by Miss Berta. It's very interesting, Miss. Thank you so much. Okay, Now let's move to the second presentation. The second presentation, entitled Teaching ESP Using My Class in Universitas Muhammadiyah Yogyakarta (UMY), it will be delivered by Miss Yasinta Farasani and Miss Margareta Darmayanti Harmanto from Universitas Muhammadiyah Yogyakarta. Miss Yasinta and Miss Margareta, you have 15 minutes to do the presentation. Time is yours.
Yeah, thank you very much. Firstly, let me introduce myself. My name is Yasinta Farasani, and I'm here with my partner. She is Margareta Darmayanti Harmanto. Now we are presenting our presentation about teaching English for specific purpose using my class in Universitas Muhammadiyah Yogyakarta or UMY. Okay, so firstly, yeah, so let me give you the background why we are interested in writing a paper about it, because me and Miss Margareta are two of the English for specific purpose lecturer uh, who are teaching in, me is teaching in, I am teaching in mechanical engineering department. So I'm teaching English for mechanical engineering, and then Miss Margareta is teaching in accounting department. Yeah, so she is teaching about business English. Yeah, therefore, we are interested to write about it. Yeah, and why we use my class here, because my class is UMY platform, a platform that is created by UMY to conduct the online courses. Yeah. So there are 4 points that I would like to share here. The first one is introduction. The second one is method. The next one is finding and discussion. And the last one is conclusion. Yeah, so let me start from the introduction. So as English continues to dominate in industry, technology, media, education, medicine, and science, demand for English for specific purpose, or we call it ESP, is rapidly increasing to satisfy individuals with an instrumental objective. To meet the particular needs, ESP courses are offered to students responding to the significant demand for English in academic and professional contexts. Dudley and Evans in 1998, they define 3 characteristics of ESP. The first one is addresses the particular needs of learners. Second one, uses the underlying curriculum and practices of the disciplines it serves. And the last one focuses on grammar, lexis, register, research skills, discourse, and gender in the required language for these practices. Yeah, and because of this pandemic, yeah, actually, UMY has been developed my class for around 5 years, and then we have done a blended learning so far. But because this COVID pandemic, so we use full online course, and we use my class as our platform. Yeah, and this university has developed my class, and when my class emerged, new opportunities were created, providing access to education without the limits of time and space. So students can access my class anytime. Yeah, and the lecturer also can provide the material in the form of file, book, folder, or link, and students can download the material. Yeah, actually, we haven't provided like MP4, for example, if we have to upload it in my class because it's too wait, so usually we share the link. Sometimes we just use YouTube or that kind of application. So student can open YouTube and we just share the link. Yeah, and then learning ESP in UM using my class also very challenging, yeah, because there are only some departments which is conducting ESP for their English courses. Yeah, for example, in Faculty of Economic and Business, there are three departments: accounting, management, and economics, and then three of them also using ESP. And then in Faculty of Engineering, for the civil engineering, mechanical engineering, and IT, they also learn ESP. But most of the departments in UMY are still learning about general English. So not all the departments use ESP here. Now, for the research question, this is the display of my class. And then when we move to the website, we just need to choose the faculty that we are teaching. And then after that, we can choose the departments. And then these are the courses that the students can access this semester. And then here are the display of the materials that we share in my class. So you can see there like some dates there. So because we set the schedule where the students cannot access that material before the date. Yeah, so we have a restricted access. Yeah, it's to control the students so they can follow the schedule when the lecture is conducted. Now, and then the research questions are the one, students' motivation and perception in learning ESP using my class. The second one, student perception about aspect of benefits. And the last one is students' perception about learning ESP using my class. And then the next presentation about method will be delivered by Miss Margareta. Please, Miss Margareta, time is yours.
Okay, thank you, Miss Yasinta. Can you hear my voice clearly?
Yeah.
Yes, Miss.
Yeah, okay, good. Okay, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so my name is Marga. I will continue for the method of this study. So we use descriptive quantitative research. We use questionnaire to collect our data, and we distributed the questionnaire to students of mechanical engineering and accounting students. And then the questionnaire was adapted from Keller and also from Christina. So we have 33 statements from I agree totally, I agree to large extent, I do not know, I disagree to a large extent, I totally agree. But there are also some questions that you say never, sometimes, I don't know, often or very often. So when we distributed this questionnaire, we use purposive sampling because we intended this questionnaire for students of semester 1 and semester 3. In accounting itself, we only have English for 4 semesters. So in this semester, we distributed for semester 1 and 3. And then next, for the findings, the first one is for the students' motivation and perception using my class in terms of ease of use. maybe it's a little bit small, but there are 8 items in the questionnaire related to the ease of use in terms of easiness to understand, improving the study flexibility, communication with friends and lecturers, learning value, solving problems, and ease of use respectively. Except for the question number 8, they said that sometimes they face technical problems when using my class, but majority they said that they agree in terms of ease of use. It's quite easy for them to use my class. And then the next one, it is students' motivation in using my class in terms of usefulness. It's just that the majority of them agree that they have no problems in terms of its usefulness except for the technical or internet problems. So they said that internet connection sometimes become the problems. Okay, and then next. And then the motivations and perception using e-learning shows that they have positive attitude toward my class and easy to use it. And it also can facilitate them to have online classes so they can have communication with their friends and also with the lecturers. Unfortunately, they still face some problems in terms of the technical problems and also the internet problems because most of them are not from Jogja, they are outside Jogja, and sometimes some of them are in a remote area, so it is difficult for them to have a very sophisticated internet access. Okay, next, I think that will be the benefits of my class. In general, when learning my class for ESP, they say that they feel beneficial in terms of the materials and also in terms of the usefulness of the navigation pane and also for the materials. Okay, I think because we have a very short time, I think Ms. Yasinta will continue for the next findings, also for the conclusion. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Miss Margareta. Let me continue for the finding. The second one is about how the students' perception of the benefits. Yeah, so the way students or lecturer control the students' study progress is by giving assignment and quiz as a proof that they understand the materials given. Yeah, and from the way they can access the material. So most of the students agree, yeah, or give the positive response because the students can find all the materials in my class. Yeah, so actually there are many features that are provided in my class that can be used both by students and lecturer, but usually who upload the material is the lecturer while the students only upload the assignment. Yeah, so when we want to add the activity or resource, yeah, my class has some features. These are the features. Yeah, maybe you can see it's a bit small. Yeah, so for the activities we have assignment, attendance, big blue button BN, chat, choice, custom certificate, database, external tool, forum, glossary, lesson, quiz, and Scrum package. Although not all the lecturers use these features. Yeah, usually we only use assignment or forum or chat or quiz. Yeah, well, for the resources, there are books, file, folder, IMS content package, label, page, and URL. Usually, we just use book, file, folder, or a URL for the materials that we share for the students. Yeah, so with these features, lecturers can post all the students and the students can explore more material. Yeah. Since the online class is conducted from home without face-to-face meetings, so the students should manage their time to attend the lecture or access my class based on their lecture schedule. Yeah, therefore, that's why I have told before that we set restricted access, which the student cannot open that material before it is scheduled. Yeah, usually lecturer also share the video based on the written material so the student can understand more about the material. Yeah, so by learning via my class, students are able to improve their independence because they learn by themselves, they explore the material by themselves, but still, if they have any question, they can ask the lecturer. And then the last one is students' perception on learning ESP using my class. So they find it that actually learning ESP is almost same as learning other courses. Yeah. So we have 6 items to ask for the students, and then they give positive response in learning ESP using my class. But the difficulty is because some of the students didn't master the basic English, so they find it difficult to follow the ESP. Yeah. So, but however, they aware that actually in learning ESP, they should have mastered basic English. Yeah. But by learning about ESP, for example, they learn about the terminology, they learn about the expressions. So they find it beneficial that in learning ESP that will be beneficial for the future. Yeah, and using my class, students have opportunity to explore the resource more than the offline class does because there are more materials that the lecturers can share. Yeah, so the conclusion is ESP is very beneficial to learn because it meets the need of the industry now. Students learn ESP for academic and professional context. Learning using my class is something new for the students, but they find it easy to access it, except for some technical problems. Yeah. For example, technical problem from my class itself and also the internet connection from the student. And then lecturer can control student study progress by conducting assignment via my class and set the schedule. And then in learning ESP using my class is interesting for the students, but firstly they should have a basic basis in basic English. Yeah, so thank you very much for the occasion. That's all from us. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Miss Yasinta and also Miss
Yeah.
Margareta for your valuable insight, especially about the best way to teach ESP using my class. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're
All
welcome.
right,
Thank you.
Anytime.
before we move to the third
You.
presentation, let me remind you that if you have any questions for the speakers, you can type the question in the chat room 5 minutes before the last presentation ends by mentioning name underscore affiliation underscore to whom the questions will be addressed and also your question. Okay, now we go to the last presentation for today's parallel session 2. The last presentation entitled Providing Instructional Scaffolding in an Adaptive English Class for New Students. The presentation will be delivered by Ms. Retno Mulyani and Ms. Bernadetta Siska from Sanata Dharma University. Okay, before we start, let me do the share screen.
Okay, thank you. Can we start now, Jessica? Yes, can we start now? All right. So, can you hear my voice? Can you hear my
Yes.
voice?
Yes,
Okay,
Bu.
Okay,
Miss.
thank
Yes,
you.
Bu. Yes. Yes.
Sorry.
It's clearly enough.
All right.
Sorry.
Yeah. Good afternoon, participants.
Good
Actually, I have
afternoon.
my
Wait, Miss.
partner.
I have to try the share screen once again.
Hmm.
Wait a minute. It's a technical problem. Okay, can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. Wait a minute, Miss.
Yeah.
Okay, Miss Ratno and Miss Bernadetta, you have 15 minutes to do the presentation. Time is yours.
All right. Thank you, Miss Jessica, our moderator. Good afternoon, participants, and also my partner, Bernadetta Siska. I'm sure you are here, Siska. I usually call her Miss Siska. All right. So this afternoon, we are going to present our research entitled Providing Instructional Scaffolding in an Adaptive English Class for New Students. This is actually under a special theme issued by our university. A part of the research has been conducted and finished by Bernadetta Siska Indriana in June 2020. So if later you are interested in learning more about her part, then you can ask questions to her, who is also present in this room. All right, Siska, I'm sure you are here, yeah? Okay, so probably our topic is not new. It's not really new to many of you, but it can reconfirm the importance of scaffolding for new students. Next slide, please. All right, thank you. So, the new students in our study refer to 24 students sent by the Mapi district government in Papua to study in our campus. We have a collaboration program with the Mapi district government, and the group we have, or the group we used in our research was the third batch. And matriculation classes were always provided for MAPI students before they studied formally in some departments of our university that they have chosen. So I can say the matriculation classes provide cognitive, psychological, and social adaptations. Next. Okay, so having done for 3 years, then we could say that they need supports in the matriculation classes. And the support here is the scaffolding. The one that has been conducted by Indriana is the effective scaffolding. And this presentation will focus on the cognitive scaffolding or instructional scaffolding, whereas the social scaffolding is still conducted in some, immersion program outside of campus. All right, next slide, please. All right, as I said before, that this research is under a special theme issued by our university, and this is the context. So as a private university, we are encouraged to take part in the universal actions for humanity. And point number 2 and number 4 of the actions are walking with the excluded and journeying with youth. So they are the inspiration of our research. The excluded may refer to those who are not so lucky as students in big cities, having good facilities and receiving good education. Walking or journeying with youth is symbolizing our process of growing together with young people. And the young people in our study were graduates of senior high schools who were sent by their local government to study in our university. Next slide. All right. Here are some previous studies and related review of literature. The one that I mentioned several times was the focusing on effective scaffolding. It was conducted by Indriana, Bernadetta Siska Indriana, my partner. And then the second is the importance of relevant learning materials and effective teaching strategies for Papua students, but not the ones from Mapi district. And then some references about educational scaffolding. We have Bradley and Nguyen. And about the motivational self-system, we use Dornay's theories. Next slide. So here are the 3 questions we have in our study. The types of instructional scaffolding needed by the students to study in their matriculation English class. Okay. What are the challenges to provide the scaffolding, and how are the effective ways to provide the scaffolding? Okay, next. And here is the methodology. It is a descriptive qualitative study, and we have 24 respondents, new students sent by the Mapi district government, 1 teaching assistant, namely Bernadetta Siska Indriana, and 1 colleague from another department who has been teaching Papua students for some years. And we have a forum group discussion consisting of 3 of us. There are instruments that we use, reflective notes filled in by the students, class observations, both the conventional and virtual classes, and WhatsApp chats to replace the interview, face-to-face interview data. And then the setting, well, we actually have a long story about it. The first class was a conventional class starting in February until March. And then we have to switch into a virtual class in April until June. And so that is a setting. And every week we have to meet them on Mondays from 9 a.m. until 1 p.m. with some break in between. Okay, next. These are the findings. The first is to address the first research question. We have identified that the types of scaffolding they preferred or they needed are modeling, and then group work and repetition. Group work, pair work, and repetition. Actually, this was part of Bernadetta Siska Indriana's study or findings. And then to address or to answer research question number 2, here is the answer. The challenges. The challenges in providing the scaffolding can be different previous learning and habits. So they are from different cultures and different learning environments, because when we ask them to fill in the questionnaire and the reflective notes, we discover that probably none of them were from the same school. Okay, and this really was a big challenge for us because we have to know one by one. And the second is the switch from conventional to virtual classes. Wow, this is really a challenge for us. It's one, probably it is a big challenge for them because they never expected to learn in virtual classes in Jogja. Okay, and the next is because of the virtual classes, there are no role models in learning. This is also the challenge. Next. Yeah, this is findings to answer research number 3. The ways to provide scaffolding effectively. We use different instruments and we analyze the data that we collected. We've discovered that repetitions and examples, okay, well, sorry, I cannot see it in the slide. Repetition and examples, they need repetition and examples of how to use important linguistic and non-linguistic aspects. Sometimes they ask the teachers or the instructors to repeat and repeat. They call Mbak Siska kakak. Kakak, can you repeat? Can you repeat again? And so on. And about non-linguistic aspects, they need examples of how to come to class, how to begin learning on time, and how to submit assignments punctually. So they need examples to do that. And then during the conventional classes, we observed that they were so enthusiastic when they had small group collaboration doing tasks. Okay, because they could learn from knowledgeable students, more knowledgeable students. And of course, very important is they need language input which was very simple and understandable. Okay, these findings have been validated in our forum group discussion. Next slide. All right, the recommendation. So our recommendations is not limited only to how to provide cognitive scaffolding, yeah, because we found or we discovered interesting aspect, not just about cognitive aspects. So the first is social immersion programs need to be continued. And the second, in relation to the English learning, we recommend that a separate English class for the new student should be designed. And one lecturer and probably some mentors, at least 2, because the class might be big. Mentors or instructors help the lecturer because they could function as friends, role models. And we in the English class should use basic but relevant materials to carry out the communicative tasks. And then this is also important, not just cognitive thing or aspect, but affective aspect. Expectancy for success in learning should be cultivated because most of them might get frustrated and demotivated quickly if they find so many problems in learning. I think that's all about our presentation, and in case you are interested in knowing more about the effective scaffolding, that will be explained by my partner. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Ms. Retno and also Ms. Bernadetta for the amazing presentation. I apologize because we have limited time. We cannot do the Q&A session. So if you need further information, you can directly contact the speakers through email that is written in the program book. Thank you so much.
All right.
So, yes. So before we close today's parallel session, could you all please turn on the camera because we are going to take a photo together. All right. Don't be shy, everyone. Okay. Please turn on your camera. All right. Are you guys ready? So the operator, please take a photo.
We take a photo in 3, 2, 1. Okay.
Okay. That's the end of parallel session 2. Thank you so much for joining our parallel session 2. After this, we will hear the speech from our third keynote speaker at 2 p.m. Please enjoy the rest of the conference. Don't forget to come back to the main room for the plenary session. The link is on the chat room. See you everyone. Thank you so much for all the speakers and also the participants. Thank you.